Hey everyone, Disappointed Giant here. Welcome to the third video in a 3-video series where we're going to go through the entirety of 5BC only using starting weapons. So we're going to take a quick peek here. This is the same clip I've used in the other 2 videos where we're just going to look to see what that means. So the item pool from the beginning of the game is small. It's not very big. There are some great items in there, and there are some items that are just okay. And unfortunately, when it comes to survival, the main weapon that is unlocked right from the get-go, the Nutcracker, it's just okay. So we're gonna take our time here. So survival, it's gonna be a little bit longer than the brutality and the tactics runs here. And we're just gonna take a quick peek to see what's actually unlocked. You can see the only weapon is Symmetrical Lance that unlocks by default once you beat 0 BC, so you can't get to 5 BC without it. But we're gonna spend a little bit more time here in the survival run. And you can see here my outfit is green. This is the retro outfit. It is included right from the get-go. You don't have to unlock it. They have a red, white, and blue one that I use for the brutality run. They have a purple one that I use for the tactics run, and then here is the green one for the survival run. So we get all of our bases covered. All of our bases covered. So first off, as always, right? Thanks for coming by. Thanks for your time. Thanks for the interest. Hopefully this will be a fun run for folks to watch, especially if you've seen the other two runs in the, I'm using my air quotes here, other 2 runs in the series, just to see what's out there, right? We use every single item over the course of the 3 videos. We use every single starting item. I talk about all of them. I'm pretty sure I go into depth about all of them. But yeah, so thanks for your time. Thanks for popping by. Again, hopefully this is a good one. This run actually took me a while. It took me a while to get it off the ground. So I'm just gonna, as we pick up this first scroll, getting into our stats and our HP here, I'm gonna overlay a couple of my deaths from previous attempts here. They were not pretty. They were not pretty at all. It actually took me it took me a decent amount of runs to get this going. The obvious statement that I've made a bunch of times, and I still adhere to it. You can beat the game with any build. You can beat the game with any item. Just based on my own struggles, my own play style. I had some issues with this before I really locked in, but we got ourselves a decent run. There's some fun stuff that happens, and again, obviously we make it through. But it is a little bit slow going, right? So why are we slower here? So when it comes to brutality, we used twin daggers. What do you call it? We used sinew slicer. We used infantry grenades. So we have ourselves all offensive items. When it came to tactics, we used sinew slicer again, but we also did firebrands, electric whip, the throwing knives, and multi-nox bow. We also had Wolf Trap, which I'm using here as well. That's dual scaling with both survival and tactics. So we used all of those. So for the most part, those items are offensive. With survival, we have a lot of defensive things, right? So again, we got Wolf Trap here. So when you have an enemy caught in that, it's going to take additional damage. But the other stuff, right? Ice Grenade is crowd control. We're going to use Tonic, which does have, usually it has a lot of good affixes, but it's also defensive, where you take less damage when you use it, and you get bonus health. So we don't have as much offensive, oh man, that's tough. We got Cursed Prom, Cursed Sewers, or Arboretum. I'm pretty sure we go Arboretum here. Yeah, I think we go Arboretum here. I don't think we take any cursed biomes. Yeah, it looks like we're just going to be shooting. We're going to be shooting up here. But with survival, at least with this build, using the Nutcracker, it will do criticals if something is stunned, rooted, or frozen. So basically, you need to incur some sort of status effect. And I think here we're going to bump up. Yeah, I look at the Wolf Trap. I look at what we have here. But for me, since the Nutcracker is going to be our highest what do you call it? It's going to be our main source of damage. I picked that up. It did have 75% on a rooted target there, but everything is not always going to get rooted. And let's take a look at all the blueprints I have not unlocked. So here's everything. I know I showed this in the other two videos, but here's all the stuff I've collected over the past however many runs this has been. There's a lot of things. I used the word, I forget what video it was in. I used the word blueprint fatigue, and like that's kind of the vibe a little bit. So I'm re-rolling here. So again, we had 70. Oh, okay, there we go. So I just re-rolled the 75% on rooted targets. So that's not bad. That ain't bad. In our first mutation, we took Blind Faith. So that is active cooldown for skills with every parry. So whenever you parry a melee attack, you're going to get a little bit of active cooldown there. So it doesn't work on ranged, unfortunately, but it gives you a nice big, I love this word, it gives you a nice big chunk right off the bat. So there you go. So immediately we are getting a 3-second cooldown with every parry. So when you have something like Ice Grenade, it's already a little, the cooldown on that's high. I think it's like 18 seconds, but with a few parries, you can knock that down. You can knock it down to half, right? It'll knock it down to 9 seconds if you have 3 parries at this point in our stat. I think I would try to get this. Yeah, I try to get that Rampager stuck in that trap there, but it doesn't happen. He jumps over it because they're way smarter than I am, I guess. But yeah, the Blind Faith is great. It caps out at 6 seconds. So by the time we get to the end of this end of this run, our cooldown is going to be pretty absurd. It's going to be pretty wild. Get our first good duel stat. I can't remember how our luck is. I do remember cutting at least one challenge rift at end game. So I know we get at least two good duel scrolls. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But like I was mentioning, survival, this is going to be a little bit slower, right? So with the Nutcracker, its damage on its own is not great. It just ain't great. So you're going to want some sort of crowd control. So the shield I'm using, Cudgel, if I parry with it, it will stun an enemy, which is great. So that sort of synergizes with the with Blind Faith, right? So we're going to stun an enemy. We're going to get extra damage from the criticals from the Nutcracker, and then we are also going to reduce our cooldown. So that's why I chose to take that to start. So it's not the end game. We don't take the Nutcracker all the way through. we absolutely switch it out at some point. But the quote-unquote end game for the Nutcracker build, I would recommend taking Frost Blast as your second main weapon. Frost Blast will freeze enemies, so that way you can freeze an enemy, get a big crit, and then just sort of like pump it that way. One of the great things about the affixes you can get with Nutcracker, you can get plus 175% to frozen targets. So you freeze a target, you freeze an enemy, hit him with the Nutcracker, and then you're gonna get almost triple damage on that crit. So that is quite good. But again, it's slow, right? So you gotta parry, attack, freeze, attack, wolf trap, attack, ice grenade, attack. So the style is a lot different. It's a lot different from tactics and from brutality. Personally, survival is my least favorite. There are some really good weapons there, especially some of the faster ones like War Spear. Man, War Spear's been brutality survival for a long time, and like, I don't know how they kept that. I don't know why they didn't single stat that to brutality, because it's fast. It's really fast. It's really good. Depth Scythe, Alucard Sword from the Return to Castlevania DLC. Gold Digger is quite good too. So there's a handful of really good survival items, but in general I find them to be a little slow, and again, trying to rely on the crowd control, stun, root, freeze, so that way you can open yourself up for these slower, bigger attacks without taking damage. On the other side of it, right, so we have our cooldown here from Blind Faith. We're going to take another mutation later called Necromancy. It's something that's by default. That's all we're doing, right? We're only going to use the 3 default survival mutations for this run. Necromancy is going to give you healing, and a lot of the other things that you can unlock, we can have what doesn't kill me is a mutation that gives you health on parry, so similar to Blind Faith, but just think health instead of cooldown. There's gastronomy, which increases the benefits of healing by, I think it's like 83% or something like that. Soldier's resistance will give you up to plus 40% HP. So there's a lot of mitigation. A lot of, I don't know if mitigation is the right word, but it's basically there are other mutations and other things that you can take to offset. I think that's the word I'm looking for. Will offset some of that extra damage that you're probably going to take if you open yourself up. So for me, I really like that more fast-paced, higher risk, I guess you could say, with lower HP, you know, faster, more options for quick damage. Like, that's more my vibe. Oh, here we go. We got ourselves a curse. So this is our second good scroll. I had mentioned in the tactics video I was all cursed out. I'm still cursed out here, but like I was saying earlier, I took however many runs it took, 8, 9, 10, whatever, how many runs it took me to get to this point. At this point, I was one level in. I was like, I don't care. It's like, I've already died so many times. If I die again here, I don't care. I'll just start over again. And at this point, the run felt like work. It felt like work. I was, pardon the pun, I was like cursing myself, being like, man, you just had to sign up for this thing, dude. You just had to sign up for this run, right? But again, survival is slow. They both start with the letter S, so you won't forget it. So survival is slow. Definitely my least favorite stat. But again, there are some decent things here. There's a weapon called Symmetrical Lance we're going to use later. I had mentioned that at the beginning of the video. That's quite good. So not all is lost. But again, out of all three stats, this is my least favorite. But we got to win. We're going to showcase the few amount of items that we have, right? So there's the two melee things I talked about, Sim Lance and Nutcracker. We got Wolf Trap, Ice Grenade, and Tonic, and then we got a couple of shields. So something I didn't mention yet, I'm sure if you were just looking, you may have noticed that there was a flash on screen when I walked by a teleporter. I edited out, I did the same thing I did the last video. I edited the footage. Edited sounds like such a funny word. I chose to edit the footage. So basically, we are cutting out unnecessary transitions. We're cutting out things that don't have an impact on the run. Like if I walk into a door and I get a brutality item that I recycle, like you don't need to see that, right? If I recycle an item that may have, here we go. So this, victims freeze nearby enemies when they die. That's why I grabbed that one. So like if you'll see here, I think my next kill, I should take this thing out. It's like, where are you going? See that little ice sphere around it? Anything that's in that sphere is gonna freeze, which means more crits from Nutcracker. But you can see there too, I just cut unnecessary footage. That way we can save a little bit of time. As a lot of you know, I like to go through all of the biomes at the end, get all the food, get all the money, get everything. I think I hop my way into the bank here. I absolutely do. I totally do. And that's another thing. Our routing here is a little fun because we do bank and distillery in this run. So that's actually pretty sweet. So we're gonna have some edited footage here. Just want to let you folks know. You're gonna see it a bunch, especially, I might go through a rift, or excuse me, I might go through a teleporter and then end up in a room. I might leave a door in a room and then end up at the bottom of an elevator. How's that, right? So just wanted to give you the facts. Just give you the facts in case you're like, dude, what's going on with this video? And here we go. So some people have made a comment, I guess the past couple videos that I had, I actually did not stop to sort of like take a little break and whatever it is, drink my water, drink my tea. And they were like, hey man, are you all right? I didn't hear your mug. I didn't hear your mug. So there we go. That's for everyone that was concerned or confused, right? So we take bank. And we take bank a little bit early. So this is taking place of ramparts, right? So the third tier biome or whatever it is. I should probably know what these things are actually called. But we decide to take it instead of going to either ramparts or morass of the banished. Actually, it is ramparts because that's the door that I took. And I took this and I skipped prison depths for 2 reasons. Number 1, I had already gotten 2 good scrolls, so in theory that would sort of even out the scroll that I would get from prison depths. And the other thing is I just really don't care for prison depths that much, and I just didn't want to deal with it. I think that is the correct phrasing. I did not want to deal with it. So we skipped to ramparts, and then I think I went to ramparts in one of my, might have been the brutality one. No, I think it was the tactics one, but either way, we already did the ramparts before, and we haven't done bank in this little series, whatever you want to call it. So I said, let's do bank. Let's do it. Something very funny happens in this. I get trolled. I get trolled so hard, and I feel like when we get there, I have a feeling I may be like the only person in the world the only person in the world that it has ever happened to. Maybe not. If you have had the same experience as me, let me know. We'll talk about it obviously when I get there. Taking this curse a little bit carefully, right? We got those thornies, and a melee hit against the back of that thing would do damage. So obviously that would end the run. But yeah, we decided to take bank, and it was fun. I like bank. I feel like there was a period of time where I did not necessarily care for bank a lot, and folks would comment and be like, hey man, do bank. And I'm like, no. Like, no, you do bank, right? But I like it. I like it a lot now. I think, it is similar to a lot of the other levels that Evil Empire added later in the game, specifically stuff like Shipwreck. This level can get pretty big. It can get pretty big, but it's fun. It's fun, and also, most importantly, one of the most important things about bank, despite, except, how do I phrase this? Not just the fact that it has a shop that could be mimicked, so you're either going to get double food items, asterisk, you're going to get double food items, or you're going to be able to get a higher quality weapon or skill. There's a food shop here. There is a food shop here 100% of the time. So there is no food shop in the biome tier before the second boss, right? So what are we looking at? Cavern, Clock Tower, Sepulcher, Undying Shores. Like, there's no food shops there, but if you get a bank in place of that, there is a food shop. So it's, if you're in a spot where you want to grab some extra food, bank is tough. Bank is tough, so it may not actually be helpful. But if you're at a spot where you need some extra food at that tier in the run, or you want to get an extra potion or whatever it might be, bank might be worth considering. So yeah, so we take bank. I just left a pile of gold back there, unfortunately. But one of the good things about having this constraint, whatever you want to call it, right? Having this challenge, having these parameters, these constraints or whatever, is there's not a lot of stuff to buy, I guess, right? So we are going to spend some money re-rolling. If there is an upgrade to Wolf Trap or to my main weapon, right? We do Nutcracker for like maybe half. We do Sim Lance for the other half. If there's an upgrade, I'll buy it, of course. If I'm looking for synergy or something, I'll buy it. But like, we don't really need to upgrade the Ice Grenade. We don't need to upgrade Tonic. We don't need to upgrade shields, so we're going to be saving a few bucks here and there. So that's one of the things that I have really enjoyed about this series, is to be able to just more than usual, just try to save a couple bucks. As I always do, I probably am going to spend so much money in this run, and I've already forgotten about it, and I'm going to be like, well, actually, I know I said it was good to save all this money, but we're going into the 5BC boss with a penny in our pocket, right? My goodness, who knows? Who knows? And I guess the other good thing too, so a lot of folks, I know I mentioned this in a couple other videos, but like, a lot of folks had been asking for more long plays and other videos. I took a little bit of a hiatus for a bit there. And I've been playing a lot. I've been playing a ton. I've been recording a bunch. I have, at the time of this voice recording, I have, I think, 2 more runs in the, what do you call it? In the pocket, getting ready to comment over and stuff like that. So yeah, I got some good stuff. But anyways, I've been playing a ton. It's been really great. I've talked with a handful of people on Discord who haven't played in a while, and they've been playing recently too. A couple of you folks who commented on YouTube being like, Hey man, I haven't played Dead Cells in a long time. I played a little bit. It's great. It's great. But I've been playing a bunch of runs, so some of them sort of bleed together, especially these survival runs, because again, I would just get rocked and then I'd immediately start over. One of the things that I do like to do between runs is I'll change my outfit. And since this is the sort of like free survival outfit, oh, here we go. We get a legendary belated Tomphus. Not going to take it. And that's another thing I should mention real quick is even if we get stuff out of the curse chests or a legendary like that, here we go. We're getting the build. We're doing Frostblast Nutcracker here. Even if I get a legendary or a colorless item that is in the item pool, I'm not going to take it unless it's a survival item. So here we go. This is where we get super trolled. So I'm like, I need cough syrup, and then I get mimicked in the food shop when I'm trying to buy a cough syrup. And look at how poor just the base Nutcracker damage is. So mimics HP, their damage and HP scales, and we're doing a little bit of damage here with the wolf trap. The problem is that the wolf traps burn the ground when they're destroyed. I didn't realize it had that affix, so the wolf trap will get destroyed, and then I can't freeze the mimic, right? So we kill it, and then we only get one cough syrup. You're supposed to get 2 food items. So if I did the big food, I would have 2 big foods. If I did the potion, I get 2 potions. But we only got 1 cough syrup. We got taken advantage of. That's like when you go to a gas station and you buy an Arizona iced tea and it says 99 cents on the label and they charge you like $1.29 for it. That's ridiculous. But anyways, we get the short end of the stick with that food shop. I get trolled. Nutcracker doesn't do a lot of damage. It's really unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. So the asterisk I mentioned earlier, if you have gotten trolled by buying a cough syrup and you've gotten mimicked and you've only gotten 1 cough syrup, to the 0.01 percentage of us that has happened to, leave me a comment. Just let me know. Write 1 word, mimic, right? Write the words cough syrup. Write the word, what was I saying? I got screwed. Take your pick. I got trolled. I got trolled by the cough syrup mimic. I don't know if anybody else has ever experienced that. But because I had the burn on wolf trap when the wolf traps got destroyed, I could not consistently freeze that mimic to get the crits. So it was like hitting him with a pool noodle. It was very, very disappointing damage. Very disappointing. But before that happened, I was talking about outfits. So I do like to change outfits between runs. Gives me a little bit of a variety. So I could be like, oh yeah, I remember that golden outfit run that I just did. Or like, yeah, I had the explorer's outfit on or whatever. But since I kept the retro outfit on for this whole experience, everything just bleeds into one. Kind of felt like when you're at work and you're just filing stuff and you zone out and you're like, wait, did I file that yesterday? Did I do that today? Where did that come from, right? So there we go. And I don't even know what else to say. I already said this. I hope everyone's rocking. Hope everyone's rocking and rolling. Again, this is the 3rd video in the series, and we're just kind of like, I feel like we're talking about a lot of the same stuff. So I feel like I'm like, hey, here's 3 things, and we're gonna keep our 3 things in there, right? And that's it. So talking about the lack of items. So I'm pretty sure we keep wolf trap. I'm pretty sure we keep wolf trap for the whole run. Obviously, we'll upgrade it. And look at this. We have an elite gold gorger that is taking more damage from default Nutcracker. Look at this. I mean, it's not great, but even this monstrosity has less HP than the mimic and mimic in this shop, which is, I don't know, man. I don't necessarily agree with that. The scaling of mimics is way off, right? So I feel like instead of the HP and their damage output sort of ramping up at a more steady rate, it becomes the earlier you get a mimic, it's way harder than if you get a mimic later. And there are times if you get a mimic in whatever Cavern, High Peak Castle, Shipwreck, or whatever it might be, you can defeat them so easily. You can get through them so easily because their HP and their damage values have been they're like undercut by how many scrolls and how much power you have at that point. So it's a little lopsided, so we're doing the bank challenge room here. This is something else I'm going to speed up. We're going to do it at twice the speed. One of the things that I did not think about when I chose to do all this stuff is the music is also going at twice the speed, so it's like pitched up. So it's actually pretty funny. I'm gonna put the volume up a little bit here so we can hear how ridiculous it is. Totally forgot about that. But all our challenge drifts are going to be going at double speed here. So again, just to sort of save some time. And I went through this just to see what would come out. Again, it's going to be something from the item pool, so it's going to be one of those few items that we have. And I got an upgrade to the wolf trap, so I might come in here and I may re-roll. We're gonna see in a sec. I'm pretty sure I upgrade or re-roll or something. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just gonna keep it. Yeah, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna take a peek. We're gonna take a peek and see what comes up here. I think I'm trying to roll for maybe poison or something. Because I think the wolf trap does toxic cloud around the trap. So I think I was rolling for poison there. Didn't work out, unfortunately. So I lost the victim's freeze, and we're going into Concierge. We're going into Concierge. I think what's the achievement called? It's like the Fat and the Furious, I think, is when you first beat Concierge. Out of control. Some of those achievement names are very funny. But we're coming into Concierge here, so I think my plan here, similar to before, is, you know, we're going to throw the wolf trap down here. I don't know how much ice grenade usage I'm actually going to get, because at this point I know they burn. I know they burn once they're destroyed, so it's not something I can really lean into. The other thing I did is, I forgot to mention this, I swapped my Frost Blast out for a shield. So I think the Nutcracker Frost Blast experience is starting to come to an end. Again, if you're going for Nutcracker, that's probably the better option than the shield, so that way you have a little bit more active engagement versus passive or waiting to parry or whatever it is. But we're going back for the shield. So at this point, I've used Nutcracker for 3 levels, and we're going into our first boss with it. And I am hungry for a symmetrical lance. I love symmetrical lance, and I think we get a flawless here too, right? Yeah, we got a flawless. We get a nice flawless. Hell yeah. We got ourselves a flawless with the Nutcracker. Not the easiest thing to do, but I will take it. I'll take it, right? But I'm looking for a sim lance, and I'm like, man, where is this thing, right? So here I'm like, is there a sim lance behind the legendary door? Surprised there isn't. I think it was something like a sinew slicer or whatever. We got a bunch of cells. Since we're not unlocking things, we get to throw those cells into the forge. So we're very, very, very happy about that. And for routing, I'm thinking about going to Stilt, but because I skipped the prison depths, I think there's less fragments in Stilts. I think the scrolls are the same, but there's less fragments. So I come to Slumbering Sanctuary anyways, instead. Not in the mood for shrines. Again, I'm kind of like cursed out. And at this point, you know, we are at a decent part in the run. We're at a decent part in the run. We've made it almost halfway through, I'd say. I think by the time we get to the end here, it's just about the halfway point. So I didn't want to take shrines, just in case I get cursed, and, well, not in case, when I get cursed, if I end up taking trap damage, or I get hit by a bird, or I get picked off by one of those lizards with the javelin or something. I wasn't up for it. You know, I was hoping that we could get this one through. And lo and behold, what do we have? We have a curse. We got ourselves a curse. So there's always a curse here in the sanctuary. It can show up just like there, where it did sort of like towards the beginning. We might see it more towards the end once we open the level up. And I'm coming in here, I'm getting rid of the masker first. I want to take the masker out so that way we can see all of the enemies. I'm taking a quick peek here. I'm like, all right, that's not bad. So the options, right? So I could let this sit for a while. I could take it after we open the doors to go against all the statute enemies. I can take it now. You know, I can go a little bit further to see what the enemies are like. But I want to take it now. I want to get it over with. I recycled that cudgel, I think because it had biters on it. And when you're cursed, you really don't. In general, you're not going to want biters. asterisk again. I did a biters video that I'm putting out, and actually it was really fun. But in general, you got to watch out for biters. And when I'm cursed here, I did not want to have enemies, you know, attacking, their attack patterns being different. I didn't want biters getting in the way. And this is hairy. I don't remember. Yeah, so I'm just like, I'm starting to panic. Look at this. Everywhere I go is a mess. There's an elite up there. I'm just like, oh my god, dude. So I come down here and I get stuck. And this is very stressful. Things work out, obviously, but I'm just trying to say, like, all right, I don't have a ranged item. And here's where the wolf trap burning actually saves me, right? So for the most part, I parried one or two of those caster projectiles. Yeah, we got toxic cloud on the wolf trap. I just throw it down and let the dot take care of those enemies. Like, my goodness. But we parried a couple of these things, a couple of the caster projectiles, and then the burning wolf trap took care of like half the curse. So, man, we made it. I just remember, like you saw, like I was standing at the end of that hallway just waiting, and I'm like, all right, it's over. I'm like, that's it. Run number 10, run number 11, whatever it is. I'm like, we're done. But we're not. We made it through. There it is again. But we made it through. Another hairy curse. I was definitely all cursed out, and I know I've talked about this mutation 1,000 times, and the reason for it is because it is so good. It is so good. Damned Vigor is so good. It'll save you from a cursed death. It'll save you from a regular death. It's awesome. You know, if you take a death while you're cursed, you get 2 seconds to kill an enemy, and then you'll be brought back to life. I love it. And not having that safety, taking curses during these runs is... Man. Man. What a difference, huh? What a difference. So here's, I think the run, I feel like the tone of the run starts to shift a little bit. So, in general, I prefer to go, I think I slammed down here like a jackass. I think, yeah, I don't know why I did that. If you do it right down the middle, you will not hit the spikes, but I should not have done that. So, Damn Vigor rules. Not having that is very challenging. But at this point in the run, what I was going to say is we took that mutation necromancy that I mentioned, right? So every enemy I kill is going to give me some health back. So depending on the amount of stats that you have, the more stats that you have, the higher the percentage that you could potentially get back from an enemy when you kill it. There's like a balance. There's sort of like a balance in the mutation where the more HP you have, the less it's going to heal you. So it's not going to completely top you off easily. Oh, here we go. We got another good scroll. So I think that's 3. I think that's 3 so far. So it's not going to top you off completely. So you can see here we're at 60. That's going to bring us up to 62. That'll bring us up to 63. So the percentage gets lower and lower, but it's always going to be there. It's always going to be there, right? So talking about the phrase tanking, like tanking a hit, there, like right there, I take a huge hit and I don't think I heal. I think I just keep, yeah, see this? I'm just keep going. I'm like, let me see what this is. We got ourselves an elite dancer. Pretty sure I'm going to throw the wolf trap down, let it do its job. Get a couple of big hits in there, and then we're good. But with Necro, it's just, it's very good. Necro is just very good. One of the things that I recommend to people is if you're taking survival, it is S-class, easy S tier. I recommend it all the time. Or I should say I recommend it for every run. However, I recommend it later in the run, specifically for that reason, right? Because if you take it in the first biome and then you're killing enemies and you're getting like 0.2% of your health back with every kill, whatever it is, like it doesn't really, the benefits that you get from it are not as good as they will be later in the run. So I'd say for the first biome, maybe take What Doesn't Kill Me if you have a shield, Gastronomy if you're looking for extra healing, Disengagement, Damn Vigor if you're looking for a little extra safety, but I'd hold off on Necro until maybe the second or third biome if you can. But at this point in the run, we got 19 scrolls, right? We're doing pretty good as far as how far we are in the run. So that percentage is, from the scrolls, the percentage of healing you're going to get is higher. So I think at this point we're in a good shape, or a good place. We're in a good place to have Necro, and I just start tanking some hits. I'm not as concerned, right? We have the higher HP from. Oh, this is messy. Wow. Yeah. See, I take a couple hits there. I don't really care. I don't really care because I'm already back up to 80. Now I'm up to 82, right? So I think I was mentioning it earlier. I generally will do my best to get the kill doors. Time doors at this point, I feel like I just let them go. Sometimes I'll have a pretty brisk prisoner's quarters, but other than that, I generally just let them go. But kill doors I try to get, but at this point, I really don't care. I don't really care because for me, like I've said a couple times, it was really tough getting this going. And now that I'm locked in, I'm thinking about curses for the rest of the run. There are no more guaranteed curses for the route that I'm going to take. So I'm going to take, where am I going to go? Oh, okay, never mind. I thought that was another curse. It's one I already did. I was going to say, oh my God, man. Please, no more curses. Oh, man. But as far as the run I take, I go Cavern, and then I'm pretty sure we do... Yeah, and then we do Distillery, and then from there we do Hand of the King, 5 BC. So I don't have any more guaranteed curses, so I don't need to worry about them. I don't think that we have a bonus curse in High Peak Castle. I don't think we go to Cursed High Peak Castle. Or excuse me, Distillery. I don't think we get a curse in Distillery. I don't think that it's cursed. I don't think it is cursed either, but... the guaranteed curses are done, right? So at this point, I'm like, all right, man. All you got to do, you got 3 flasks, you got decent HP, you got necromancy. Like, just make it through. Just push through, And I think I had not gotten to this point successfully before. I feel like I got taken out by a lot of curses. I feel like I had runs that ended. I had one run that ended to a curse here. I think it was just not great. So knowing that I am not forcibly going to be cursed again is quite good. So my mindset here is like, just keep getting scrolls, right? Back to basics. Just keep getting scrolls. If you get hit, just kill enemies and use your potions when you need to, and that's it. So the rest of the run is pretty straightforward. So again, I think the only thing that we change. We definitely get a symmetrical lance at some point. I think it's soon. It might be next. Might be in Cavern, or I might grab one here. I don't know if there's another shop, but either way, we're gonna get it soon. So the Nutcracker will make its way out. Earlier in the run, it's not too bad. Again, as long as you can find some sort of crowd control. Early in the run, it's not too bad, but higher BCs later in the runs, it's not great. It's not fantastic. So yeah, I think we luck out here with the Sim Lance. Yep, we do. I'm going to grab it. We're going to switch out the Nutcracker, and that's it. So we're going to use Sim Lance for the rest of the game, right? So we're going to keep Wolf Trap. I can't remember if I changed my shield or not. It really doesn't matter. We're just doing one quick scan here, see if there's anything we missed. Doesn't really matter if I change out my shield. I'm only using it for parrying. I'm not using it for damage. Now that we're not using Nutcracker, I don't need Cudgel for stun. The gold that we get from Greed Shield is minimal at this point. So I don't know if we upgrade the shield. I might pop it. Yeah, I don't really think I care. I don't think I care. We roll plus 80 to poison on the Simlance, so that way we can get that from the Toxic Cloud on the Wolf Trap. So we're in good shape there. There's a transition. Oh, that was smooth. So we're good. So the other thing I'm going to do, and I'm pretty sure I do it here. Look at that flying demon, right? And there it is. I'm just like taking a hit. 46 up to 54. Okay, up to 56, right? So it's like, it just really doesn't matter that much. Oh man, I already forgot what I was saying. There has to be an old man brain moment in every video, or else something ain't right. Something ain't right. But yeah, I was talking about switching things out. So we are going to switch out Ice Grenade. It's not going to be super helpful, I think, after this biome. So we take tonic, and I'll talk about tonic when we get there. I mentioned a little bit earlier as far as its like defensive implications and the extra health and all of that stuff, but I just wanted to take that because I knew at that point it would be more beneficial. It'd be more beneficial for me to have that than an ice grenade that, you know, isn't going to do anything. It's a giant. It's not going to do much. Hand of the King, not going to do much 5BC boss and stuff. So I decided to grab tonic instead. But we'll get there when we get there. And I think here, yeah, I'm still pushing the envelope. I'm like, we're at 42%. I don't need to heal. So I'm really curious. So let's see if I actually take damage here. I might not. There it is. Yeah, so we're at 29. I think I might heal here, actually. Yeah, this part I do heal. Having two demons coming at you without a lot of verticality in order to take care of them is a little tricky. So I guess I did heal there. So I wasn't pushing the envelope as much as I thought I was. But yeah, but for the most part, except for tonic, whatever that comes up, this is the build. This is the build. So for the next 3 biomes and 3 bosses, that's all we got. Oh man, that's a lot of time. How much do we have left? We got a whole half an hour left in this video, huh? Man, well, we're getting through this together. We're doing it. And I remember when I did my 5BC 0 to 5BC Iron Man run. I did that with Modesto and Daniel. We all commentated together on a few of the runs. But I remember I did 2BC by myself, and 2BC was the survival run, the one survival run I did, and it was similar to this actually because we didn't have a lot unlocked except for Simlance. I might have taken something out of the curse chest or a legendary that was not from the survival item pool or whatever. But I remember I was going through that. By the time we got to High Peak Castle, I'm just like, man, I don't know. I'm just like killing stuff. I'm getting HP back. I'm alive. I'm alive. We're on 2BC. Like, whatever, you know? It's mug drop number 3 for those of you who are counting. So, but yeah, so overall, let me default item kits or default item pool, right? So let's do some rankings here. So we got our 3 stats, right? Obviously, brutality, tactics, survival. Each one of them sort of has a different vibe, right? So with survival, as we've seen, right, we have HP, getting HP back and cooldown from Blind Faith. The third mutation we took was counterattack. It gives you extra damage after parry, but the damage is flat, so it's not really that great. It's not something I recommend, but I took it here because I had to. I had no choice, right? And then do I grab this? I shouldn't, because yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna lose that poison damage, so we shouldn't take that. So the default kit for survival, it's slow, right? If I didn't have symmetrical lance, like, man, this run would be even longer. You know, again, edited, it's 107 minutes, or excuse me, an hour and 7 minutes. But you can just imagine if this wasn't edited, how long it would be. So default kit for survival, I would give this, if I had to rank it, I would probably give it a C. Yeah, I feel like I would give it a C. So the symmetrical lance is quite good, right? So if you kill 2 enemies with it back to back, you get crits for 6 seconds. It has a hitbox in front and behind you, but we get a good necklace there. So it's got a hitbox in front and behind you, so you might find yourself, there you go. So that's how I killed those 2 enemies back to back. You can see the icon is a little bit greener than normal, and then you know, it had the lance part was orange. Yeah, you can see it again. I have the crit condition here too. So I think Sim Lance is great. I think Wolf Trap is incredible, right? So we're looking at extra DPS for any enemy that is stuck in it. You can see there, getting extra poison is fantastic because then that's more DPS. It's like it self-synergizes even when you don't realize that it is. So Wolf Trap is awesome. The shields that we have are fine. Cudgel is decent. You know, it will, like I was saying, when you parry an enemy with it, you will stun that enemy. It's can be a little tricky against bosses since that can change their attack patterns, but in general, it's pretty good. Greed shield is basically your absolute basic shield, right? So you start with the wooden shield, the old wooden shield. That's like the default, super default old item. That's like the first thing that you can pick up. And it basically does the same thing, except you get a little bit of gold every time. So basic shield, greed shield, it's fine. The Nutcracker, like I was saying, I feel like early on, lower BCs and earlier in 5BC runs, it's not bad, but it definitely peters off by the end, especially with bosses that you either can't freeze or root or stun, or bosses that have resistance to crowd control that kind of build up quickly. So Nutcracker, again, not great. I think I might buy this. Going from a 9 to a 12, is that what this is? I'm gonna grab it, and I think, yeah, I was trying to do the math there, and obviously I looked for about a half a second, so I didn't actually do the math. But yeah, going from a 9 up to a 12. Oh, we got ourselves another challenge rift there. I'm definitely gonna pick that up. I'm just taking some time to get rid of these guys here. So Nutcracker falls off big time, but you know, early on it can be pretty decent. If you get Nutcracker and Frost Blast out of the tubes, if you get Nutcracker, Frost Blast, Wolf Trap, and Ice Grenade out of the tubes, take it. Give it a shot. Again, you know, maybe through whatever, maybe up through that first boss, it's gonna do you some good. But overall, you know, it's okay, as we all saw. Ice Grenade. I like Ice Grenade. I don't like how long the cooldown is. I feel like, you know, it has like that, so it has like a good area of effect. I don't know why I didn't just say AoE. It's got a good area of effect there. It can come with some fun affixes. You know, enemies bleed when they thaw. Thaws, you know, free. I think thaws spreads to nearby enemies. Enemies are frozen twice as long, so it's got some fun affixes there, but I feel like 18 seconds is like overkill. I think stun grenade and root grenade are lower. I'm actually, oops, sorry about that. I'm actually going to take a quick peek at the gear page here. Let's take a look. You can't see what I'm doing, but I'm going to do it. So stun grenade is 12 seconds and root grenade is 16 seconds. I think both of those are better than ice grenade, just in general. And ice grenade's cooldown is 18. So I don't know if I agree with that. All right, so we're hitting is this our second or third challenge rift? I think it's our first proper challenge rift. I'm gonna grab the amulet that's got an extra jump, a little bit of extra HP just in case. But yeah, ice grenade it's fine for like a starting thing, but it gets outclassed pretty quickly. So again, that one's just fine. And tonic is like a really weird, I think I might just recycle that, maybe not. Tonic is a very strange item, right? So it's the only skill that is unlocked, right? So we have grenades, traps and turrets, or whatever it's called, and then skills. And tonic is the only skill that is unlocked from the get-go. On first look, like it's not something that I feel like people look at and immediately like, oh, I want to use this, it's great. You look at it and it's got like a math equation on it where it's like for X amount of seconds you get X amount of bonus health and this much damage reduction, and you're just like, there's a lot of numbers there, and you're like, okay, like what exactly should I expect from this? So I feel like you look at it, if you're not familiar with it, you don't use it too often, you just recycle it and move on, right? I do that. I still do that sometimes. You know, it's not a, oh, well, we get 3 little pockets here. A lot of times I don't use it. But it's a very good utility for a couple of reasons. So the first thing I mentioned, you know, it's got affixes on it. When we buy one, we'll take a look so that way we can at least see. Generally, it's got like 4 or 5 affixes on it at this item level, right? At this gear level. And the damage reduction is good. The bonus health is great. So whatever the percentage is, again, the percentage is going to scale up with however many survival stats that you have. So the bonus health is going to be super helpful because I think it's for 8 seconds too. So you're going to, we got ourselves 2 pick. What's up? you're going to have that extra health for that amount of time. So you can basically tank damage, right? So I look at that. I'm coming back. I grabbed the ruby key. I picked up the ruby key because last run I got trolled. If you don't buy that and it's in the shop, you will miss out on an item. And in the last run, I went to get big food out of the 5BC food shop, and the ruby key was there instead, so I got trolled. So that's why I bought that there. But the bonus health from tonic is actually quite good. It's quite good, so I think I might be going back for it now. Maybe not. I guess not. I'm surprised I didn't buy that. Maybe I get it in distillery. I can't remember. But I'm pretty sure I do get it. But yeah, tonic is like a understated. It's like a really good utility. It's a pretty good utility, and again, I feel like it gets slept on. I sleep on it. I often, right? But I had I think I was streaming a couple weeks ago, a few weeks ago, whatever it was, and I took tonic, and like that thing carried me through part of the run. It was so good. So we've made it to giant. We made it to the giant fight. We're gonna throw our wolf trap down. Again, unfortunately, you know, you can't get a lot of crowd control here on the giant. Sometimes you can get the eyeball and like a wolf trap. If I'm not mistaken, we might actually try to do it here. Am I gonna be able to? Yeah, so you saw there for a second. You saw there for a split second. And we take out the left hand, right? So there's that brief pause between the slams. We take the left hand out. We're going to take the right hand out here. And then I think I might get tagged. Yeah, there we go. So we take one hit. Might actually take two. Either way, we don't get the flawless here. So we don't get the legendary. We end up getting tagged. But there you go. So similar to my last video, I take one hit. I took one hit at the boss. Super annoying. Again, I know I said this last time. I would rather take 5 hits from a boss than take one, because then you're like, oh, I barely missed that. I barely missed that flawless outfit or flawless legendary or whatever. We're dumping more into the forge. What are we up to here? 9,700. 9,700. So after I completed this run, I played one more and I filled the forge up. It was great. I'm going to overlay that right now so we can all celebrate. We can all celebrate yet another save file with the full forge, right? So yeah, one hit was super frustrating. So I'm looking at high peak, and I think I go to distillery here because I'm thinking to myself, as far as variety goes, right? We're going to go to the 5BC biome. All 3 of these runs. We're going to go to 5BC boss, all 3 of these runs. I didn't want to fight Dracula. I don't have Queen in the Sea unlocked here, so the end routing is similar, right? Especially, you know, we're going whatever and then Hand of the King, 5BC biome, 5BC boss. So I decided to go distillery here to switch things up. I wanted to switch things up a little bit, you know, partly for myself, but mostly for you folks, so that way it's not just the same thing. You know, if you watch all 3 of these videos, you can be like, oh, cool, DG's in High Peak Castle again. Oh, DG's fighting Hand of the King again, right? So we'll spice it up. We'll spice it up a little bit here. So distillery, everybody, I feel like this is, in general, if we did a survey of every single player who's ever been here, and we're like, what's your least favorite level? I think distillery would, I don't know, what are we looking at here? Maybe 80 to 85% at minimum, I think, would be the amount of people who do not like distillery. But I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's pretty sweet. And I also, full disclosure, I usually clear everything. I do not do that here. I get the scrolls. I think I get knocked around a little bit. I don't have Masochist to minimize trap damage, so I think I get hit by barrels a couple times, and it's pretty painful, even though I have a higher HP or a higher hit point pool than normal. So I do get knocked around, but yeah, I feel like a lot of people, this is their least favorite biome. I personally like it. I like the layouts. You know, I think the only thing, yeah, if I'm thinking about it, the only thing that I would really change here, there's one room that's awful. I don't know if we're going to hit it or not. There's one room that's awful that you can come in from the bottom and there's barrels falling all over the place. It's like that should have been fixed, so you can only come in from the top. That's funny, right? There we go. We're going to chug. I should have just grabbed that food there. We had big food. I should have just grabbed the food and taken the Malays, but I think I was think I was a little shook. I think I was a little shook. Didn't want to lose the run. I also think at this point I'm like, oh man, should I have done this? Should I have come here, or should I have just done High Peak Castle for the third time in a row? But yeah, I like Distillery. So that my two complaints. Number one is that room. I feel like, you know, that should be changed. I mean, it's not going to at this point, but that should have been changed so that way you can't enter it from the bottom. And then the other thing is the damage radius from the barrels. It's too big. It's too big. There's going to be times where you think you are out of the way of a barrel, and then it blows up, and it's just like it hits you, and you have no idea. You have no idea, and then you take whatever it is, 30% or 10% damage if you have Masochist. So those are the two things I would change. But other than that, I think Distillery's sick. The music's fantastic. Another good scroll. Music's fantastic. The effects, like if you just want to take a quick peek at the particle effects, it's like there's this brown stuff, but as you're walking through it, there's the clarity around the character. Like that's ace. That is ace level design and programming. That thing is, it's fantastic. But I would change those two things, right? And we obviously survived. So this is the room. This room is rough. This room is rough in general, right? But we're coming from the top down. So imagine coming up that ladder right there and then being absolutely stuck and like having all these barrels rain down on you. It's pretty rough, right? It's pretty rough. But yeah, other than that, I think Distillery's sick. If you don't like it, I recommend giving it another shot. I have a video on my channel about the Distillery and how it's designed and all of these other things. So yeah, I think it's worth a shot. So aside from a couple of big hits, and aside from, oh god, we're still going here. I don't think anything else happens, but we'll see. But aside from a couple of big hits and deciding to heal instead of eating that food, this wasn't awful. This wasn't awful. I think I might have cut it out. I think I might have gotten a natural barrel launcher blueprint in here somewhere. I don't know if I did. Again, I can't remember if it was this run or another run or whatever it was. But I decided to bounce early. Because I'm just not in the mood. I'm just not in the mood. I'm like, okay, we got like one more section here. I think this is when Explorer's Instinct pops, like in this general room, because we've covered a lot of other things. That's okay. So I changed 3 things. The other things I changed would be the layout where you can get scroll fragments or scrolls directly next to a barrel launcher, like how we had there. So I would also change that. And I think this is where we buy tonic. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe. I don't know. But I wanted to get back to something I was talking about earlier. So survival, right? If we're ranking out of the starting weapons, it is my least favorite. I feel like there's the least amount of damage output. This is unfortunate. Lightning rods is fantastic. Least amount of damage output and the most amount of restrictions. So I would rank that the least. The second stat that I would say, if we're going bottom to top, would be brutality. You got combo, which is great. You got vengeance, which is great. You have balance blade, which is great. Twin daggers is pretty good. I enjoyed it. Infantry grenade, it's quick and doesn't do a lot of damage, but it pops decently. I enjoyed it more than I expected. Sinew slicer is a great trap. You share it, it shares between tactics and brutality. I'm looking around. I'm like, I think I'm done. I'm done. Get me out of here. But yeah, so brutality's got some good stuff, and it also has firebrands and throwing knives, so you can go ranged, you can go melee, you can do one of each. I think it's really good. So I'm going to put that in a high number 2, and then of course number 1 is going to be tactics. The amount, I know I talked about this in the last video, but the amount of utility you get, the amount of damage output, the amount of damage over time, how strong those are, the fact that you get support as a mutation right off the bat. Tactics is out of control. So that's my favorite of the 3 as far as starting items go. So, and hey, all right, so we're gonna throw the wolf trap down. We're going Simlance against Simlance here, right? So we got 2 of the same. If I had my Hand of the King outfit on, that would have been beautiful, but obviously not part of the starting kit there. But We're going Simlance against Simlance, and I like taking Simlance here because of those enemies. So you can see here we're getting some decent damage. We got the crits because we're able to kill those enemies pretty quickly, and then get an extra damage to Rooted, and then boom, there we go. So Hand of the King down, we got ourselves another Flawless, and here is the obligatory 5BC spoiler warning. So everything after this is 5BC spoiler content. We get a level, we get a boss. So if you do not want to see the spoilers, now's a great chance to dip out and close the video. If you do that, thank you. Thanks for hanging. Thanks for chilling. But for the rest of us, we are slowly going to walk over to this door and kick our way into the legendary room. What do we got? Look at me, I'm walking so slow. What do we got? What do we got? I think it's a cudgel. Yeah. I think it's a cudgel. I don't know. Oh, so I think I might have... I don't know why I kept this footage in. I should have just cut it, so we went right here. But either way, I might have kept that there so that way we could see the disappointment after all of the... After the swag walk, thinking that we were going to get some good stuff. We did not, but we made it. We made it to the 5EC biome. We have full health. We have... our Malays got knocked down after the Hand of the King fight. It's a cool little it's a cool little roundabout way to get rid of that librarian. So we're in good shape, right? So there is a food shop here, so we're going to be able to get another of our potions back. Look at this, we got ourselves a challenge rift here, so we get an extra bonus scroll. So I think we leave here. I can't remember what happens with amulets and stuff. I think we leave here with 35. I don't think we get another good scroll, but leaving here with 35 that's pretty good. That's pretty good. So we got lucky here too. We got really lucky in the brutality run, but we also got lucky here too. So we're gonna pop this challenge rift open so that way I don't lose it, and then we're gonna continue on. So as we always do here, right? We're gonna find the 2 keys. We're going to open the tower up, we're going to climb the tower, and then we are going to bounce. I feel like at this point, Astrolab is probably one of the quicker levels to get through for me, because the layouts, we got left tower in the tactics video, which was not common. It's very uncommon. But in general, the layout is kind of similar. You just sort of go up and down these paths. You find the 2 elites, you walk through a couple shops, and then you end up getting to the boss. Climb down the tower, climb up the tower, and then peace out. So the Astrolab is generally pretty fast for me. So we're going to be generally zipping through. I'm still curious as to when and where we get the tonic. Wouldn't it be funny if that was from another run? Wouldn't it be funny if tonic was from another run and I'm talking all about it, but I actually don't take it here? We'll see. We'll see. It's like Groundhog Day, but instead of featuring Bill Murray, it's me sitting in front of my TV trying to get a survival win, right? Man. Oh, man. Gotta love it. So I actually... so I wanted to ask... I don't know if anybody that is watching this portion of the video has experience with this, but I was wondering for people who stream, right? So not just like the little, like the baby streams that I do every once in a while. I mean like people who like consistently stream. You're on Twitch, you get subs, you do like the bonus points things, right? Where people can cash in the viewer points or whatever it is. Like, I'd be really curious to hear about how you did that, as far as like what your process was. You know, how long did it take you to like really get settled? Does it feel like work sometimes, right? Because that's kind of like something I've been thinking about, because I've been I've been doing this here for almost 3 years. I think it was like June or something, June of 2023 or whatever. And I've been thinking about maybe branching out a little bit just to sort of see. Here we go. Are we gonna get the tonic? Come on, man. Come on, man. You're killing me. But I've been thinking about branching out and maybe like doing Twitch stuff, like not just Dead Cells, right? Just sort of seeing how things go and if it's something that I could incorporate into my life more. So I'd be curious. I'd be curious to hear if anybody has experience with that, just to see like what it was like for you and, what you get out of it, as far as, does it feel like work? Are there certain things that you enjoy doing more than others? Like whatever, right? I'd just be curious to hear your experience, because again, it's something that I've been considering. My girlfriend's been trying to get me to do it forever, ever since I started putting out videos. She was like, hey man, you should probably do more of this. And I don't. And what do we call her? What is she? Lady Giant? Not disappointed giant? I don't know. Leave a comment. What should we call my girlfriend? Let's put her in the channel lore. You know, but she's been super supportive of it, and other people have been like, hey man, you should do this stuff. So I'm just kind of dipping my toe out there. So I just, if anybody hears this and does have more experience, you know, just leave a comment, shoot me a DM or an email or something. I'd be really, really curious to hear how that goes for you. All right, thanks. Hey G, thanks a lot. Okay. So during the time I was just talking, we got both of the keys, right? We killed both of those elites. We got the key that's going to let us into the tower. We got the key that is going to allow us to open the door to the two more elites at the very end of the level. It's going to let us get out of here. So we, again, Astrolab's generally like a fairly quick sort of thing, right? So, you know, with Sepulcher, you're going through and you got to like find all the different, oh, we're doing channel drift here. You're going through and you're finding all the different teleporters. You're bouncing all over the map. You know, Clock Tower. You're trying to find all the different towers as far as where the, you know, where's the key, where's this, where's that. But like with Astrolab, you kind of know like where you're going. So I appreciate the consistency of this level. It's, you know, that obviously, as you've seen, the design is great. The music is fantastic. I know I've said this before, but it's like a great culmination of where, sort of like of where the entire run started and where it ends, right? Such a great level. But the consistency is very welcome, very welcome. And again, even stuff like we already did, right? Distillery, sometimes you gotta take the barrel launcher if you can't knock the barrels into the wall where the key is, and then you gotta find the key, you gotta open the door, you gotta do all that other stuff. Astrolab, you just poke around, get keys, and then bounce, right? A lot of levels need keys, huh? I never really thought of this, right? But Sepulcher, need a key. Astrolab, you need keys. Clock Tower, you need a key. I think that's it. A Graveyard, you need a key for Graveyard, right? A lot of keys, man. A lot of keys. But yeah, I think we're getting close to the top here. I think there's just one more little section here, and then we're gonna kill these enemies pretty quickly, I think. I'm actually super curious. Maybe again, I could be remembering a different run, but I'm pretty sure we grab tonic here. I'm pretty sure we grab tonic, and I'm pretty sure we get some decent affixes on it. Because again, at this point, we got like, it's gonna pop up with like 5 or 6 affixes. We'll see. And the other thing too, so if you're playing Brutality and you come in here and you're low on flasks or whatever, take Tainted Flask, because by the time you get in here, I think you're gonna have like maybe 25, not 25, excuse me. Yeah, you'll have a bunch of stats. All right, let's do it, baby. Oh, come on, tonic. What are we doing, man? Oh, I'm killing these two guys and then I'm gonna get the tonic. Is that what we're doing here? Oh no, there's more enemies here, so I didn't want to cut this because I didn't want to cut any of the combat. But taking Tainted Flask in here is great. So by the time you get here, if you kill 4 elites, you are going to get a flask back. Let's do it, baby. Let's do it. Yep, there it is. Okay, perfect. So you can see there, it's got a lot of good affixes. I'm going to grab this wolf trap. Why didn't I not grab that wolf trap? It had plus 80 to poison and toxic cloud. Wild, huh? Wild. But if you take Tainted Flask in here, there's a lot of elites. So there's at least 4 guaranteed elites, which means that you're going to get at least 1 flask back. Because the time you come here, by the time you get to this point, you're already going to have that mutation scaled with your stats enough, so that way it'll only be 4 elites. So you'll definitely get at least 1 flask back. So definitely worth it. Also worth it going into the 5BC boss so you can chug as well. And we're going to do one more quick look. There you go. So look, you get 6 affixes, oil, bleeding, poison, right? And I'm just trying to like see if there's other stuff that I can do. I might just keep things, let's take a peek. I might just keep things as it is, right? Oh, so I'm gonna upgrade my shield and then that's it. So we're gonna bounce. I think we'll take one more look at the build before we go. That's everything we got. And that's it. So this is the final spoil warning. So we're heading up to the 5EC boss. Again, if you do not want to see this boss and you'd like to bounce, please do. Please do, and I'll see you next time, all right? But here come the final spoilers here. So coming into the collector fight, we have tonic for affixes, for extra damage reduction, and for extra bonus health. I hope I use it at least once or twice so we can see it. And then we have Wolf Trap. So Wolf Trap's going to mess up his attacks a little bit. Similar to Concierge, is going to kind of pin him, and then, you know, some of the attacks sort of get queued up, I think, or he gets stuck and he continues to do the attacks, and then the Wolf Trap breaks and he, you know, he sort of comes out of it, whatever. But oh yeah, we get some nice little damage there, and we get him to chug his first flask. So generally, if I can get him to drink 2 flasks in this room, I think my damage output is enough. Unfortunately, we only get one. We only get one here. Coming into the second room, again, we're going to throw the Wolf Trap down. At this point, what I should do is I should have used tonic. One of the affixes is that it will cause nearby enemies to bleed once it expires. I think it's like an 8-second cooldown, or I should say 8-second usage. And the symmetrical lance has plus 60% to bleeding, as well as plus 75% to rooted. So we could have done some extra damage here. We got him with drink 3 times. We're coming into the final arena. As I have been, we're going to throw our Wolf Trap down. We're going to try to get extra damage. He's going to chug. And then, do I take a hit? Yes. Yes, we do. Yes, we do. So funny. So funny, right? But we did it. We did it. So the series is over. I can finally go back to my full save. I can use this save and unlock some of that other stuff that we got. So the series is over. So I hope everyone enjoyed it. Again, sort of like some fun challenge run type things to keep me interested. Some new stuff for the channel. Again, I've been really enjoying putting out stuff and doing new videos and everything like that. So this was an idea I've had for a while, and we did it. We did it. So again, thanks for watching. If you watched all of them, holy crap, thank you so much. If you've enjoyed this video, great. Great. I hope you dug the hell out of it, right? And hopefully we all learned a little bit about some of these starting items and, you know, just how powerful or not things are right out of the gate, right? So again, hope everybody's well. As always, you know, thanks for your time. Thanks for chilling. You know, thanks for the comments and the support and everything. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, right? So as always, thanks for watching and good luck out there.